Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on Summerfest. Following its debut in 1968, Summerfest has evolved into what is now recognized as the world's largest music festival. It's happening June 25th through the 29th and picks back up July 1st through the 6th. Summerfest is Milwaukee's cornerstone summer celebration, bringing the music industry's hottest stars, emerging talent, and local favorites to a world-class festival setting. And here to give us all the details on what we have to look forward to this year is Bob Babisch, VP of Entertainment, and John Boler, Chief Marketing Officer for Milwaukee World Festivals Incorporated. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Great
always.
Seeing you too.
Usually when I see you, that means there's a big party about to happen.
That's
We're working on it.
That's right.
And I can just see it in your eyes. You're excited and ready to go.
And exhausted. Yeah.
At the same time, excitement and exhaustion all mixed into one time period.
It
What I
certainly
open,
is possible.
I close.
And so when we sum up Summerfest, we've got 11 days, 11 stages, over 800 acts, and then you're talking about some 900,000 or more people coming down here and enjoying all the great music, the great food. It is truly a big gig. So let's start off talking about some of the things we can look forward to this year. And the first thing you think about when you head down is how you're going to get in. So there are some special promotions that's going to be at the gate. So let's start off opening day. What are we looking at?
Well, I mean, the easiest way to get in first is to buy tickets online and print them at home. That is the easiest way. Our ticket prices are $11 for weekday tickets prior to 4 o'clock, and then $18 after 4 o'clock and weekends. However, every day of the week, though, we do offer an admission promotion. It's either free or highly discounted. On opening day, we're doing the very, very coveted Stomp Out Hunger, which is our major food drive with Hunger Task Force and Johnson Controls. Basically bring 3 non-perishable food items or more, hopefully more, donate them at the gate, and you're in for free that day on opening day, June 25th, between noon and 3.
There it is, between noon and 3. And then if I could just mention a couple others, the very next day on the 26th of June is the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel Show Your Smile Day. So we need to know how that works because some people probably think they just need to smile and come on in.
Well, what they need to do is get a Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. I believe it is the June 22nd copy.
Okay.
And there are coupons in that paper, and you cut out the coupon and bring the coupon. The next day is a fun day, though. It's the Go Red Day.
Okay.
And basically, we're painting the town red this year, Summerfest red, and any patron that arrives on Friday wearing a red shirt between noon and 3 gets in for free. It's a Capco.
We can do that.
We're excited about that day. That's fun and easy, and it's all about having a good time and showing your spirit.
Yeah, and Summerfest truly is one of those scenarios in this city where it's something for the entire family, and that's very important. So you also have a promotion that's specifically Family Day.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Children's Fest is really a coveted day. We'll be doing that on the 1st, July 1st. It's Tuesday, and it runs from noon till 3. And basically, we open up the gates for free to everyone, and we bring in extra family-friendly programming on the grounds that day, and roll back some of the food prices. So it's a really economical day. 1, 2. It's just a great way to bring the kids down and really make some great memories down at Summerfest on the beautiful lakefront.
That's what it's all about. And you don't forget about the seniors. There's a special day set aside for them to come in. Everyone that's age 60 and over, they are admitted free.
Well, yeah, Senior Fest Day will be on the calendar as well. So all of these admission promotions are listed very, very clearly on summerfest.com and in our official brochures that you can find around town. But we encourage everybody to check out the website because they're laid out specifically and show you the key parameters on each one of those promotions.
Yes, and we won't go through all of them, but there is a Summerfest Military Appreciation Day on the 4th of July, and then Fan Appreciation Day will wrap it all up. So again, you can log on to the website to get all the details. What is new this year? Fill us in.
Well, there's always a lot that's new. Obviously, the talent is always new every year. But one of the new features that we're excited about is an attraction that we're going to bring to the north end of the grounds. So this is a 75-acre permanent site, At the very north end of the grounds, though, we're going to be bringing in a very large-scale Ferris wheel, affectionately known as the Summerfest Wheel in the Sky. So we're encouraging everybody to check that out. During the daytimes and the evenings, the daytimes are going to be stellar because families can get on the Ferris wheel, take that ride, and actually see beautiful vistas of downtown Milwaukee, the lakefront, and the rest of Summerfest. And then at night, that whole wheel in the sky will illuminate, and it'll bring some really great energy to the north end of our grounds.
Yeah, I was imagining it all lit up, and that's exactly what we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, there are 11 stages, and we are located in the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard, and this is the VIP deck. And so there's a whole lot going on each of these stages. So let's talk about some of the great acts that we can look forward to over on the BMO Harris Pavilion stage. You've got Kool and the Gang and Milwaukee's own Harvey Scales and the Seven Sounds on the 4th of July. But I think it's important to point out the uniqueness of the BMO Harris Pavilion. You've got your blue circle seats.
Absolutely, you have that. It's a beautiful venue that's just a few years old. Next to the amphitheater, it's kind of a mini amphitheater, if you will. It's got 5,000 reserve seats, or 5,000 seats undercover, and room for more people above that. It's got great video capabilities, so it's a great place to see a show. And the Blue Circle passes, there are 1,500 Blue Circle passes that are available in advance to get at our box office to get before the show or before the day of the show. So you should check that out if they want to sit way out in front. But there's not a bad seat in the house. So it's
not a bad seat in the house. Right. All right. And then you have some other acts that we're looking forward to. Since we're in the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard, fill us in on what people should look forward to.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of acts that are playing here every day. I don't want to get into specifics, but they should go to our website, which is summerfest.com, and check out all the great acts that are playing on this stage and all the other stages. And of course, get our app, the Summerfest app, which is a great thing to have, and now's the time to download that. You can put your own schedule in there, and you can see all the bands that are playing. But the list goes on and on for all the grounds.
It's hard to keep up.
I mean, from B.O.B. and Ludacris all the way out to Arctic Monkeys and Ray LaMontagne. It's just a great, stellar year for ground stage acts.
Yeah, and I'll just mention one that I'm looking forward to on the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard, Ziggy Marley.
Of course.
And, you know, that's always just a vibe in the air, and that's definitely one that I will be attending. Then there's Fitz and the Tantrums, Jake Miller and the Buddy Rich Band, and like you said, the list goes on and on. Then there's the Miller Lite Oasis, and that's pretty special in itself because it's kind of centrally located where everybody can kind of pass by and see what's going on.
Right, and it is the biggest area on the Summerfest grounds, the biggest staging area, and that's when you see a band like the Arctic Monkeys on opening day, which is going to be a great way to kick off the festival on that stage.
Yeah, Melissa Etheridge also
on the last day, right?
Oh, that's awesome!
Yes,
and I just started playing this guy on the radio not too long ago, DJ Cassidy.
How about it?
He is hot, and I just kind of put two and two together, like he's coming to Summerfest.
He's actually kind of bringing disco back in his style of music. It's kind of a little Caribbean flavor to it. I think it's very cool stuff.
Yes, and Ludacris is going to be on the Miller Lite Oasis.
Can't go wrong with Luda.
I love Luda.
And Nas is, that's not on the Miller Oasis though, but Nas is in the middle of the festival
Nas
too,
is going to be on the Harley Davidson Roadhouse stage, and so since we are talking about him, because he really is one of those historical figures when you look at the history of hip-hop, he has some of that history right there in his pocket as well. So opening night on the Roadhouse, you've got Ben Harper and Charlie Musselwhite.
Speaking of going back into the blues world there, huh? Yeah, I mean, Ben Harper's been a great kind of almost alternative pop rock act for years, but he teams with Charlie Musselwhite, who's one of the great old harp players from the late 60s, early 70s, and that's going to be a great little show. There's a new album that they have out that's really, really good.
I don't know how you keep up with all this, but the interesting thing is that you guys work on Summerfest a year ahead, so you're probably already working on who you can snatch for next year, right?
We have 5 shows in the amphitheater on hold right now for 2015.
I love that. I love that. Now, another person that's going to be pretty special taking the Harley Davidson Roadhouse is Naima Adedapo, and we had her on the show last year when we were here at Summerfest, and she has just a really special story in the fact that she once was a groundskeeper here, and her whole idea was, I want to be somewhere where I can be around music, and then you look up a couple of years later and she's on stage performing, and it's just kind of one of those awesome stories.
And her brother still works for us in the entertainment department.
Yes, he's like a stage director, I believe. Yeah, so pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. She's going to be performing, and then JoJo's Martini Bar, we're going to see one of your staple performers, and that would be Mr. Eddie Butts and the Eddie Butts Band.
That's exactly right. Eddie and his band they do a great job here. Always have a big crowd, always have a fun crowd, and we love them.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I'm going to be talking to Eddie a little later on in the show, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the man off the stage. So that should be very exciting.
And he's going to tell you how well we treat him, isn't he? I think he is.
Absolutely. And then CW18 and My24, they are proud sponsors of the Uline Warehouse stage. And so we're talking about some pretty awesome classic names that come up there. I'll let you say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You've got Joan Jett playing there this year. You've got John Hyatt playing this year. You've got Rick Springfield playing this year. It's a good cross-section of styles of music that we have up there, which we're liking. And they've put a couple of names like John Hyatt in Berlin on earlier in the day, which is kind of fun. I think at 5 o'clock they're on.
That's a lot of fun. I like that. The KNE, am I saying that right? New Music Stage? Okay, featuring local and regional performers. How important is it for you guys to incorporate local individuals into these shows?
Well, you know, we put a lot of talent on in the 11 days of the festival because you have music going from noon until midnight. So you have a lot of opportunity, if you will, to showcase some of the young bands that are coming up. You try to get as many of the local ones as you can and the regional ones as you can, and it's a process that we do, but we really get excited about it. There are some great bands we find that are playing in the afternoon on some of these stages, and it's great.
Yeah, and it gives everybody in the city an opportunity to know that they're doing their thing, and then they can follow them if they really like them from that point.
And that's the charm about Summerfest. I mean, we are really inexpensive, and as we talked about earlier, there's always a way to get in free. And the real charm of it is you can wander from stage to stage and see different genres of music that you've never seen before, and stop and take a shot at it and go, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, there are plenty of people that walk through and stop and see a country act or a hip hop act, and they've never really listened to it before and go, that's pretty hip.
Right.
Start watching that. Start listening to some of that. You know, that's great.
And with the way technology is today, you can follow people in so many different ways. So I think that's awesome in itself. And speaking of, we should remind everybody they can log on to summerfest.com to find out more about all of the different acts that will be performing on the free stages. We mentioned quite a few of them, but we cannot forget about the Marcus Amphitheater. And I have to really high five you guys. High five. You brought, seriously, you know, some of the world's biggest acts are here at Summerfest this year. Let's go down the road. Let's talk about it.
This is fun. I mean, you look at the acts from Bruno Mars on one end to Usher on the other end.
Yeah.
And this 11 days, the amphitheater is just jam-packed with talent. Great names across the board, and we got lucky. I mean, it's one of those years. It's talented. No, we get lucky. And there's just great names that kind of fell into the schedule. And once we got one, and then we got another, and we just kept looking at the schedule and going, oh,
wow.
it's getting better. It's getting better. So.
For those people at home who have been under a rock, I'll let them know some of those. Like you said, Bruno Mars and Aloe Black are going to be performing opening night at the amphitheater. And Bruno Mars just did halftime at Super Bowl. So that's huge in itself.
You know, we had it. We were trying to do it last year in 2013, and it didn't fit in the schedule because he wanted to head up into Canada during our time period, so it didn't work. And the agent said, "Well, maybe we'll do it." You know, he said, "We'll work on it for the next year." And I thought, "Yeah, well, I've heard that before." But in the middle of Summerfest last year, he called up and said, "Okay, let's pick a date."
I like that.
And let's start working on it. So yeah.
Well, this festival has quite a reputation, and people do realize it's a pretty big deal to play here. So I'm not surprised at all. One big name that blows my mind, when you guys announced Lady Gaga, I thought, okay, I'm floored. That's pretty awesome.
You know, that's an interesting thing in that she's playing all indoor dates except for 4, and that she's doing a run of festivals. And she picked up one festival in Canada, and then they called and said, well, she's going to do one festival, let's do a couple, because she has to change her set design a bit to fit into these festivals instead of being indoors. So we lucked out. We were right in that routing movement.
She got to change her set, change her hair, change her outfits. Like, it's going to be very colorful and interesting there. I love it.
Always interesting with her.
You've got Brad Paisley performing on the 27th of June, Luke Bryan on the 28th. I'm looking forward to Outkast. This is their 20-year anniversary reunion. So to see them performing after so many years is exciting.
And that's selling really, really well. So people should get out there and get their tickets as quick as possible.
And then there's the One Republic on July 1st, Dave Matthews Band, Zach Brown Band on the 3rd, and one that's another big one, Motley Crue and Alice Cooper, my word.
On the
and
4th
that's
of July.
On the 4th of July. I mean, really.
Rocking the 4th.
That's it. That is it.
Final tour.
That's what they're telling us. That's what they're saying.
They're going to break up the Motley Crue Corporation on the last day of the tour.
How many times have they said it's a final tour?
Supposed to be it.
This is it.
Hey, Alice Cooper opening up with the Crew on
huge.
the 4th. That's going to be a good day.
Yeah, we're going to know where to find you guys, right?
Yeah, we'll be rocking with it.
And then finally, there's Fall Out Boy, and is it Paramore?
Paramore, yes.
Okay. So, and you already mentioned Usher is going to be wrapping things up on the last day.
Right.
I told you, that deserves a high five.
Usher's only national appearance this summer.
This summer, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's the only date he's
doing. He put it together with Summerfest, and that's it's quite the nod towards Summerfest, and he's on fire right now, and his show's doing great. So
just came out with new music. It could get any better.
He'll have a new album real soon, and then I think he'll probably tour in late fall, but we got our summer date.
You got him first. That's right. Let's talk about the huge impact that Summerfest has on the local economy, because we talk about all the fun and excitement, but in the end, there's always that bottom line, and this is a win-win scenario in every way possible. Let's discuss that.
Well, overall, the economic impact is approximately $187 million direct and indirect spending for our local community. And statewide, that number is more in the line of $226 million for the state of Wisconsin in direct and indirect spending. And that does not take into account any of the marketing value, national media coverage, exposure that happens vis-a-vis this festival, and bringing the spotlight to shine on Milwaukee. So there's a lot of economic value to it, and there's also a really strong employment story that I think needs to be told, needs to be heard. Is that we hire approximately 2,200 people. That's 2,200 people to help run and operate the festival and some of the other festivals across the season. 600 of those are between the ages of 16 and 22. So we're giving lots of great job opportunities, learning opportunities, in a fun environment, in an iconic Milwaukee event, and there's a lot of value to what's going on at Summerfest beyond the music celebration, beyond the party. There's a great value there.
Like I said, it's a win-win all the way around, and I guess it's okay to mention that Miller Lite is the official beer of Summerfest.
Yes,
and I love that just Miller is just one of the many corporations that has bought in and become a part. You can just tell by the names of the stages, obviously, but they all play a role in some way or another in being a part of this festival that Milwaukee is so very proud of.
And you could never do this festival without the corporate sponsorship and the corporate help that we get. I mean, we keep our ticket prices, as we were talking earlier, as low as possible. And one of the reasons that happens is through corporate sponsorship. And we really appreciate everything they do for us.
All right. And quickly, I just want to make a quick mention that the food is something that you cannot possibly pass up here on the Summerfest grounds. So don't eat before you come. That's all I'm going to give people advice on, for those people who may have just moved to the area, because everybody else has been here a trillion times over, right? And so let's talk about quickly the transportation and parking. That's a concern for some people, but there are some options out there.
Well, we've been in meetings with Wisconsin DOT, Department of Transportation, MPD, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, over the course of the year, really, on a variety of topics, really trying to plan the best and the most optimal routes given the construction that's out there. And we put together a get-around guide, and the get-around guide is really, really easy. It provides the best routes all in a real concise fashion. If you're coming from the north or the west or the south, it's very easy to read and it gives you the best routes. If you can't find a get-around guide in the city, just go to summerfest.com and you can review it there and download it. It's very, very easy.
Perfect.
So the main message, though, is to plan ahead and come a little early this year, and keep it simple by printing your tickets at home.
Keep it simple. And you can again log on to summerfest.com or give them a call at 414-273-FEST to find out any information that you need. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the time. I know you're busy putting things together, so I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'll see you at the big gig.
You got it?
Excellent.
Bob Babisch is the VP of Entertainment, and John Boler is the Chief Marketing Officer for Milwaukee World Festivals Incorporated. And don't forget, Summerfest is going on June 25th through the 29th, and again July 1st through the 6th right here at the Henry Meyer Festival Park. We're looking forward to seeing you here. And when we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll meet a well-known performer that has delighted audiences at festivals and nightclub circuits for many years. He'll also be performing here at Summerfest on July 1st. We'll meet Eddie Butts of the Eddie Butts Band right after this.